Alright, so at the end of the last video, I basically just kind of quickly went through the steps of how to erase any of the overages. So this would just be a good time to just pause, double check, triple check that all of the lines that you erased were in the right position. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Now I did label this one eraser. This one right now is still separated. So just kind of be aware that if you wanted to color the lines individually, this would be kind of a good area to kind of save. So you could do that. I am not going to do that on this one. To each their own. So I am just going to duplicate this. Again, I think it's just a great habit to get into. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of it. So I'm basically grabbing all of my black. And then I'm going to basically unite all of the black. So now everything is all the same. So if you wanted to color anything individually, that's why I would say keep the other one as is. So if, let's say, if I wanted all of my lines here to be an individual color, that might not be a bad idea. So you might see me do that, but for right now, I think let's just kind of keep it as beginner as possible. And I'll just kind of throw some different things out there. So what we want to do is actually, before we do our make, let's just kind of do that. I want to pull out my swatches. Next thing I want to do is just go File, Place. And what we are looking for is the Astronaut palette. Very, very easy. Let's just go grab purple. Let's grab our blue. Now some of this we're going to add some more tints and or shades with. So notice I put that in front of the purple. Alright, let's grab that yellow. And I just want another, let's go a little bit, there we go. So all I did is move it a tiny bit over. This is basically the base skin color. And let's grab our blue. Let's just drop that down. That'll be our value for the helmet. Alright, I think for the most part, I have everything I want. So I can delete that. So at this point, just grab everything. We're going to go Object, Live Paint, Make. I'm going to click on K. That is our paint bucket. So anything solid, I want to color in, I think. Alright, I'm going to color in that guy. Let's go this back one. Okay, so let's grab this light pink. I'm going to grab the light pink. Double click. I'm going to just do a lighter version for the tongue. That's all that was. So just notice as we are coloring, you guys can zoom in, but it looks like most of the stuff has been colored, so that is good. I think I want... Alright, good. I am going to be doing one more value. And all I'm really thinking about is values per color, as you guys are kind of going through this. Alright, let's go light. Let's go light. Let's leave that for right now. Let's go light blue. Okay, dark blue. Now, I think I'm going to do decisions, right? Let's just leave that for now. I'm going to go back to my dark. I'm just going to zoom in. This is probably the only annoying part that you'd have to do each one of these. Good. Let's go there. Decisions. I think I want that one blue. Let's do blue for both of those. Okay. Now, for the most part, just so you guys are aware, is you really just want to make sure that all of it is filled. That's really the main point, is to keep everything nice and filled so we can color it later. And what we are also doing is building all of these shapes. So instead of us having to rebuild things and use Pathfinder, this will actually do that for us. So everything looks nice and colored. So let's just go Object Expand. That will finish our live paint bucket. Next, we are just going to do Ungroup. Usually it's about 3 times. Ungroup. Decisions, right? So little things, just so you guys can see them, and I think since I'm zoomed in enough, you can probably see them, is you might still see the little gaps. So you could come in and keep in mind, I wouldn't do the next step until you are completely satisfied. So if I said, hey, I want to do and make that one big shape, I can then fill it in, and that will actually get rid of the gaps for you. So what I am looking at right now is, do I want to keep this the same color? Do I want to modify it? So we can basically get back that edge. So those are my decisions. I think I like the blue. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I want to duplicate this one. Now, that is just in case I want to change colors later. That's literally the only reason. So now what I am looking to do is I want to take my magic wand, and what I want to do is I want to double click. Let's drop that down to 10. Really what I'm looking for, we'll find out real quick. Everyone just stare at the mouth. Okay, we're good. So if it's too high of a tolerance, this might see it all at the same value, and it'll basically combine everything. So we want to have all of our purple. That will get rid of any of those weird, goofy little lines. Looking good. Okay, so at this point, we have our flat color. So that is our flat color layer. I'm going to duplicate it. And I am just going to say, you can say drop shadows, I'm just going to say cast shadows. You can just call it shadows, doesn't really matter. Okay? And why we also do this is I like having the extra layer below it, because it will actually do the exact same thing that we just got rid of, all those little weird stray lines. So if you guys are doing the knife tool and you notice a bunch of random lines in between, just kind of add another base layer underneath it and you should be okay. Alright, decisions. Let's just zoom in. You guys can go as crazy with this or as subtle with this as possible. So I'm just going to show you the process, and I think you guys will like it. So this is to get rid of Pathfinder. If you like the idea of Pathfinder, let me just do one quickly for you. Let's just say, oh, maybe there's a nice arc. Alright, so what we are going to do is we have our knife tool. I'm going to get rid of some of these guys so we don't have to see them. I'm going to grab my face. So notice I'm using the black arrow. Select the shape I want. And then I can just come in with the knife tool. And now I can start to add in my different values. I say we want another one on the other side. If you guys go nice and slow, usually it will smooth out for you. And things just to be aware of is you want to go all the way through the shape. Alright. I can unify them, so if I'm afraid of funky little lines, I can always grab and unify those out. Alright, let's go helmet here. Now for the helmet, let's do a different one. Let's have some fun for you guys. Just so you guys can see that there are different options. Since I'm with this, I don't want to have to do a perfect little circle. I have a circle. I'm going to grab my other circle. So notice there was no fill, no stroke. I can come over to this wonderful little divide. I'm going to select it. Nothing's really going to happen. I'm going to ungroup. And now I can come in and just color the back. So if you guys like that a little bit better, no problem. Doesn't bother me. Usually when I'm teaching new guys, I try to avoid the Pathfinder a tiny bit, just because there's more frustration there. Good, good. I'm going to do another one. So notice I'm going all the way through. Usually you just deselect. Let's go dark. I'm going to grab this one. For this one, we don't have a darker one, but I think I want to go face. Let's pull out our swatches. I deleted them. It's something. I'm not in love with it yet, but it's something. Alright, decisions 4. I'm going to come through. That looks fine. Make it a little bit darker. Now for this one, notice I'm going to trace as best as possible. It's not necessarily going to go directly through those points, just so you're aware. But for the sake of argument, I think it'll still work. Okay. Now if you didn't want these to be two separate shapes, again, I can unify those. And then I could always come back and modify that line. So that is a possibility as well. Alright, I am going to do another version too. So let's go pen tool. And this is just so you guys can understand the concept. I do not want a fill. I noticed I've went through both of those, but since this is a squared off shape, I don't want to have to be perfectly straight with it, so that is the reason behind why we're doing that. Okay, so that is selected. Let's grab these two shapes. Do the same thing. Let's divide. Let's just ungroup them. Good. Now again, I can unify the two of those. There was a little gap up there. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's grab these guys. Let's go up through the armpit. So I want that one to be darker brown. Alright. Let's just do... I want two coming through here. So let's do... Run through here. Nope, too much. Alright, let's do this hand, and I think we're good, guys. Alright, file save. Good, good, good. Alright, let's do a nice little simple shape underneath. So notice I have basically flat color, cast shadows. I could be adding some more highlights and things like that. So in the final version, you might see me kind of pop some of those back in. But for the most part, I want this to be pretty simple for you. Alright, let's just do a nice simple little circle. I want that guy to be light blue. Alright, good. So we did this on another version, but just in case, I'm going to take my flat color. I'm going to duplicate flat color, by the way. So let's just take the copy. Now let's just take the bottom one. I'm going to unlock it. And I'm just going to hide these two just so you can see what's up. I'm going to select everything. Okay, so this is basically what we're looking at. And I might have missed some things, so we'll see. Okay, I'm going to go Shift B, which is our blob brush. And all that means is I skipped over the helmet and or it's on a different layer. Nope. The answer is yes, by the way. If you were saying, couldn't you just select everything live paint make right now? The answer is yes. Very good. Alright, Shift B. Just getting these little guys. Alright, so grab everything. Alrighty. So, back to the original. Okay, so right now you're going to notice that nothing really happened. So all we're going to do is with this flat color, I'm going to go Object. I'm going to come down to Path. I want to do an offset path. Let's just preview for right now. Let's go 07. I'm going to hit OK. We're just going to do a little bit of an offset path that are going out like that. Alright, good. So I want to grab this one, Control C, let's just get into it so you guys see what's up. So now notice I'm on my circle arrow, paste in front. I'm just grabbing both of them. Let's go back to our blue. Alright, so right now notice that the outside edge is what is selected. So I'm going to come up to Object, do the same thing, Path, Offset Path. And it's going to go, basically I'm going to get these little bubbles popping out. So it's going to go circle, and then it's going to follow the, kind of those little shapes that are popping out. Hit OK. Good, I'm going to say let's do a little purple stroke. Let's come over to stroke. I do want that on the outside edge. Let's make it a little more subtle. So I do have two shapes, by the way. So you could come in and say, hey, I want to have kind of a two-tone approach. I want to have some different colors in here. So you could modify each one of those. So what I'm going to do is I actually want, let's grab our blue. Let's just make it a little bit lighter. Alright, so I just moved the circle down. I'm going to grab this blue. And all I'm going to do is let's take our knife. And I want one there. Let's just say I want one there. And I'm going to go right through his body and out his foot. So notice that the blue is all one big shape. So I just want to be able to grab that part and make them a little bit darker. And again, if you wanted to be more detailed with that shape, you totally could do it. But for the sake of argument, guys, I say we're done. Done and done. File save. Well, again, thank you for hanging out. If you guys like the channel, if you like the idea, definitely make sure you are liking, make sure you are subscribing. If you guys have any recommendations, I'm taking them right now. So let me know if you guys have any specific cartoon characters in mind, if you have anything else, and we'll go from there. So you might see the final change a tiny bit. I might modify the face or the helmet a tiny bit more, but for the most part, this is pretty dead on. I think this one was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out, guys.